It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions coming up next.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Jack Fox has us ready to go, and we are underway here at Ford Field. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. Sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Throwing on the first play from scrimmage, here's Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says, our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. He's going to involve multiple people, and right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
3rd and 5. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Now a short one to Gesicki, and he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 8 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game. Like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry of the game for Zach Moss. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Burrow will throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now they go play action now. Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Moss diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Khalif Raymond now. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl, and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
In motion goes the tight end. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. To throw on second down is Goff. Finds Gibbs on the check down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Again, Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Off play action. Here's Goff. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. Goff. Goes out left. It's caught by Williams. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw is Goff. That is caught. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 9. Goff now to throw. That is caught by Laporta. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to them quickly and put the quarterback down.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Boy, 2 long sustained drives by each team to start things out. It's kind of similar to how the pitch clock has shortened baseball games. That means we'll be out of here quickly if we get a few more drives like that. We're in the second quarter now, and we've only had one drive apiece, each of which have ended with touchdowns.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now Burrow on first down. He'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
On second down, here's Burrow. He'll swing this out to Moss. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of the play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Here's Burrow. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
First down. Here's Burrow. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. He completes it to Jones. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Moss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
And how about the coverage here in the end zone? That's how you frustrate a quarterback. You get pressure on, and you take away all of his receivers, and he's got to throw it away on 3rd and goal.
McPherson's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Let's roll.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And he returns this to the 22. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man, Chuck. Hey, Charles, you give me water. Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. 1st down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw, Goff. Got his man, it's Williams. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. Here's Goff. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 54 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
From the red zone now, Goff. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Logan Wilson, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Gibbs straight ahead, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Badgley's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there, 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Caught by Jones. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go up the middle here with Moulds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Burrow looking to pass. And that one complete once again to Higgins. 3 quarters have come and gone. Back now at Ford Field. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. And they go play action now. Burrow. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for this with Moulds. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Jones will come now in motion right. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep, and this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Now they try to catch him by surprise there on 3rd down, but this defense, they were all over the jet sweep.
And it's oftentimes all about what you're doing on the backside of the defense, whether it's the defensive end or the outside backer, who's setting the edge. And if they don't get blown off the line of scrimmage, they can really wreck a play. And in this case, they were able to make the tackle for a loss as a result.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And out now, here come the Bengals. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A handoff to Moss on the option. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he's got this down to the 35. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. This is Brown going up the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Moss on the give up the middle. And he will have a Bengals 1st down, and it's celebration time on that sideline, and they've earned it. And they'll indeed take a knee. Second and 11. Here's a give to Moss out of the shotgun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation. And taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off,
I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.